Welcome to DFS Insights. In today's UFC First Insights, we're giving you a sneak peek at the upcoming 303 card. We'll cover fighter salaries, potential winning odds from Vegas, and our own logistic regression calculations. Join us for a high level overview of the main fights as we highlight key matchups for you to keep an eye on. This is just the beginning. Stay tuned for our full breakdown video coming in a few days, where we're going to go ahead and deep dive into the three matchups that we think is going to put you in that optimal and win that big money, $200,000 to first place. Let's get it.
Yeah, I'm super excited. We got International Fight Week coming up, UFC 303. The card is definitely not what it was supposed to be. We've seen the entire main card completely change, but I'm still excited with these fights that we got coming up. We got Alex Pereira uh, defending his belt at the light heavyweight against Yuri Prochazka. So I'm very excited about that fight. Um, what does Vegas currently have the odds on that one at?
Yeah, let's pull it up.
Take a little
Yeah,
peek.
there you go.
Yeah. So it's going to be the first fight was definitely a close fight. Um, you know it, it Pereira's kicks were definitely affecting Yuri. Yuri felt like he was winning the rounds, but they were definitely close until he did get knocked out. Um, with Pereira being 8,500 and Yuri being 7,700, it's gonna be a tough fight. It's gonna be a chalky fight. But it's definitely gonna be one I'll be targeting just because someone is getting finished in that. I'm definitely excited about that. A couple other additions to the card. I like Brian Ortega against Diego Lopes. Ortega fights about once a year, but when he does, it's exciting. And Diego Lopes he is taking the fight on about 2 weeks' notice. But nonetheless, he's on like I believe 4 or 5 fight win streak, looking real nice. And then another fight I'm really excited about is this Machado, uh, Ian Gary and Michael Venom Page fight. They're having Page just step right into the fire. He already did against shoot. Wow, it's one of my favorite fighters. Fights at 170 and 180. Anyway,
Daniel
Ho-
Rodriguez.
not
Oh,
Rodriguez. Uh, Holland. Man, wow. Sorry, I'm just drawing a blank. Holland. Yeah, he fought Holland, but now he'll be fighting Ian Gary. Ian Gary's undefeated. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fight win streak. So I mean, this could put Venom Page right up there. In the top five. And yeah, that'll just be another. Those are 3 fights I'm really going to be looking to target here. So, uh, what 3 fights do you think you'll be looking to target here at UFC 303?
yeah. Well, hopefully this card stays at 13 fights. The last week, we didn't get a video up in time. The time zone changes and stuff like that. But with 13 fights, I'm really looking for inside the distance wins or round one wins, because obviously with just having a win doesn't potentially going to put you up there in the optimal, especially in these larger slates. So looking at that, I'm going to be targeting, the potential first round, or inside the distance finishes. And it's kind of looking like, like I like the light heavyweights fights, Smith, Volstolades. Their light heavyweights typically are are heavy hitters, so the potential there for an inside the distance finish or a round one finish is higher. The Arlovsky Budaday fight, probably I could see being low owned. Arlovsky was one of my favorite fighters. First UFC pay per view I actually bought versus Montello. As we spoke earlier, lasted 15 seconds. Didn't get my money's worth,
Yeah.
but he's 45. He's on a three. Arlovsky's at 45 years old. He's on a 3 fight losing streak. Budaday's, way younger. I think 31, 32. He doesn't have too many fights here, but I think they're they're giving him a name recognition, but an easy fight, I should say. Arlovsky has had some pretty good win streaks recently, but the last three has been pretty tough on him. So that's a good one. Heavyweights, they typically, they shouldn't go the distance, but some do. Like the last one that cost me, was it Volkov versus Pavlovich? Don't want to rehash that, and then also the main card, I'll be looking at primarily the ownership in that. But if the ownership gets up too high, I might the potential there for a victory in the first round or even inside the distance is high, but it's going to be based on ownership. If it's going to be 50-60% owned, then it's going to be very situational in my lineup construction there. So with that, looking up here at the cards, have the salary breakdowns for all the fighters, all the UFC odds, and the corresponding probability. If you don't really know what a negative 184 translates that over, so Pereira's the favorite, minus 184 basically translates he has a 64.8% chance to win, or they're predicting him. The next one, the My Data column, is the logistic regressions that we came up with, basically using math and previous about 1,500 or so fights, using the UFC fighter stats to predict future outcomes. So as you can see here, about 9 out of the 13 fights correspond with Vegas odds. So we've been fairly accurate, about 70%. Or so, 60 to 70%. The yellow fighters indicate basically they have three or less fights in the UFC, so their data is a little skewed there. So those data points are not as reliable as the other ones. So, but with that, looking at Tolbert, negative 220 or 2020, 96% probability to win. 9,800 salary, that's going to be interesting to see his actual ownership there. But with that, this card looks good. It definitely turned around. It with everybody pulling out, wasn't expecting too much, but it looks like they came through. So if you want some more information, check out our main UFC breakdown video coming up here in a few days, where we're going to give you full detailed analysis of the 3 fights that we come to agreement on that is going to have the best chance to be in that optimal lineup. So with that, that's all for us for right now. This is DFS first insights, and good luck.